Why are male marketeers still in charge of tampon companies'
ridiculous.
marketing campaigns? Nobody goes to gymnastics when they're on the period. Nobody rides a horse. Very few people go swimming, and nobody wears white.
Welcome to Just Another Group Chat, the WBCo podcast. We have the lovely, lovely Nina.
Hello.
And the lovely, lovely Laura.
Hi.
We have decided to talk about periods. Because this is the Fly on the Wall podcast of our WBCo office, and it's all things that we talk about. And how often do we talk about periods?
A lot.
A lot. At least once a month.
At least once a month. When there's 26 females who work here,
Yeah.
there's a lot of periods.
I'm probably interested to know who will listen to this. Is it women that will listen to this, or is it men that sort of want to know what we...
I would suggest men should listen to this.
I would as well, yeah.
Honestly, genuinely should. Because you will learn something and hopefully make your partner, if it is a female, their life a little bit potentially easier.
Yeah.
And we'll give you all the tips and tricks and all the inside scoop so you know what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So, first thing, when did you start your periods?
I was quite a late bloomer.
Right.
I was about 14.
Is that late?
I think so. Is it?
I was very young. I was like 11, 12.
Yeah.
Which
Kirsty was like 11 or 12. I think I was about 14.
Yeah. I think, was I year 8, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, year 8 at school.
Scary?
Not as scary as I thought.
Okay.
Oh, I was terrified.
But I don't know if I was just a bit young to kind of fully grasp.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You know what's really awful? When Kirsty started, me and Dom found out, and
She told me this. She told me our story.
we've proper traumatised her life. We were really mean.
Oh.
We were really mean.
Kimma.
I know. But I was 11, you know, kids are mean.
We were really interested in like this weird way of like, because you're twins and biologically you're the same. Like, did you start at the same time?
No, I was years later.
That is so weird.
We just assume because you're biologically the same that it would be exactly the same time and day. And
Yeah, but I think,
hour.
yeah, it's mad, isn't it? But no, Kirsty was really, really young. She was
That's
like
mad.
just 11 or something. She was really young. And I was probably about 14.
I was
a few years later.
Yeah, I think I was one of the last of my friends to start.
So on that, there's a really random fact I'll share with you that in the 1800s,
Back when I was a child.
girls used to get their periods like well into their teens. So the average age was 17. So you wouldn't get your period till you were 7. That's the average age for getting your period. Now the average age is 12. So it's getting younger.
But
mad is
life span is getting longer.
Yeah. That's modern medicine though. It's mad that, isn't it?
Why is that? Is it something to do with like, because we're better
Scientists think
nutritional?
there are a few key reasons. Improved nutrition, eating better.
So you eat better, so then your periods start earlier.
It's to do with fat.
Well, you've got more
things,
fat
isn't it?
cells and
Yeah.
stuff, and like more estrogen and things like that, and like increased stress levels can be a factor as well. So we're giving them earlier. So
But if you think about it,
that's what they think.
back then, women were just, or children were just married off, weren't they, to have babies?
Yeah.
So it's
But
probably,
imagine being like,
well, that's what I mean. It's probably a good thing that they were actually late teens.
it probably is.
rather
Otherwise,
than
they'd all be having kids when they were kids.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah, average age was 17. Now we're average age. What did I say? 12.
12.
Yeah.
12 is so young, isn't it?
It's young, isn't it?
I was still playing with dolls when I was 12.
Is 12? What year is 12? What year is age 12?
Yes.
6.
Yeah, 6,
No,
year
it's
7.
not, is it?
Year 7.
Year 7.
Year 7. You go
Year
into like
7.
big school when you're 12.
Jesus, that's so
Yeah,
young.
because I was at bit school and I remember all my friends like wanting to know what it was like and and I just remember like being like, it's awful and just don't wait, like you don't want it. But I think when you're in a friendship group, you don't want to be like the last one and all that sort of.
Yeah, totally.
I think I must have been. Yeah, I think I was about 13, 14.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One of my friends started when she was in primary school, and I was telling Nina this yesterday. I remember coming home from work because my dad always worked in factory, so he used to finish early.
Yeah.
So he used to pick us up from school, and before my mum got in, we had a long galley kitchen, and I literally pinned him in the kitchen to tell him all about how my friend had started her period and how she had pubic hair and this, that and the other. And so I was in junior school and I can still picture my dad's face stood at the bottom of the kitchen.
Just petrified.
Just wanting to die.
Oh my God, bless him.
Because he'd known this little girl that I was talking about since we'd been at school together since I was 4.
And he's thinking, he probably just sat there thinking, Laurie, you're next.
Mm-hmm.
My little girl.
Oh my God.
He's just standing there trying to wash up in peace. And I was like, Dad, guess what?
So symptoms, let's talk about period symptoms. What symptoms do you get? Do you know what the average symptoms are?
Cramp, I would imagine.
I'm going to go through the average symptoms, right? And tell me if you get these. Breakout, spots, acne.
No.
I did when I was younger, for sure. I used to get them, and I still sometimes get a hormonal breakout now on my chin. Once or twice, not very often.
Need some bog myrtle and lime cleanser on that.
I do. Do you know what? It's the only thing, genuinely, little plug here, but it's the only thing that actually changes my skin. Like, if I don't use a bog myrtle and lime cleanser, I will 100% get a breakout.
It's calming
when I'm on my period.
Calming.
It's the oil balancing.
Sponsored.
It's really good for
WBCo.
Yeah. It's really good for. We made it literally specifically for hormonal breakouts, including like menopause and stuff like that. Sore breasts or heavy breasts.
Mine get itchy.
Mine get sore.
Yeah, I think mine gets sore.
And get
Not
achy
too
and
bad
full.
though.
I get like itchy nips.
Do you? Tired but you can't sleep.
That's just a permanent state of mind
Yeah.
for me.
But it's actually a proven symptom. It's to do with your estrogen and progesterone increase and core body temperature and stuff like that.
Tired but can't sleep. I can't get to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it
That's what
harder
it
to
means.
get to
Yeah,
sleep.
same. I do as well.
Yeah.
So you can't relax as easy, and it's all to do with your core body temperature and everything else.
Yeah.
Cramps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we'll come back to cramps.
Oh,
Sent from Satan.
We'll come back to cramps. Constipation or diarrhea?
Yes.
Yes.
No, luckily.
Every single time.
Isn't
Bloated.
that weird how it affects like
Yeah.
that as well?
Because there's so much shit going on, literally shit
know.
going on down there.
Yeah.
It's, and your bowels
It's
like,
the drop.
Jackie, man.
It's actually to do with the drop in estrogen and progesterone, and it's to do with your hormones. That can cause that. Bloated, gassy, or water retention.
Yeah, bloated. Like
Again,
massively.
standard. Just
Like,
Like,
like
stomach
for me.
feels huge.
Bloated, and for me, this is mad, right? But obviously, I've been doing like training and stuff recently, so I've tracked like my weight and the scales that I've got tracked water weight and stuff as well. I can gain. I'm not even joking. I can gain 10 pounds in water when I'm on my period. How fucked up is that, Laura?
Yeah. And
I feel like the Michelin Man sometimes.
10 pounds.
10 pounds.
But then people that are looking at scales and just looking at scales and dieting and things like that, and not necessarily doing it properly, and just scales, that can every month you can gain X amount of pounds. I say gain.
It's not as bad now. It used to be that, to be fair, before I had Addy. It's not as bad now. But I used to, I've got pictures, and I kid you not, I look 6 months pregnant, and it's literally just pure water retention. And
It's mad.
And what's mad is the day, and this has always been the case really since just before I had Addy. I used to, when a period was finished, for 2 or 3 days, I would just be not off the toilet. Like I would just wait. And it was all the water retention. And I kid you not, I could drop like 2 dress sizes. Like I could be, it's mad. But I could be, all of my life I've looked when I'm on holiday and I'm thinking, when's my period? Because if it's the week before, I'm going to have to take different clothes. And I'm not even joking. It's really like a lot of water retention.
Oh my God.
Mad. Headaches?
Yeah.
I used to when I was younger.
It's a change in estrogen.
Yeah, not so much now.
Gives you headaches. Mood swings?
Well, again.
Crying,
like
angry, irritable, usually probably are the ones.
I feel like I blame it a lot on my period, and it's just actually my personality.
Do you track things like this? Like no.
Kim man, aware.
Anxiety and depression apparently can increase.
Yeah.
And it can get worse. And lower back pain.
Oh
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So cramp, what's the worst out of all them? Do you know what's mad? We do this every month.
It's insane, honestly.
We do that every month. Every 28 days. Some people less, some people more.
the female body is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Like insane what we do every single month, and we just put up with it and we just get on with it.
Yeah.
And I just think that's what makes women so amazing, that we do it every single month and we just get on with it.
We can be sat at a desk or at school. Some kids are at school, and we can be sat with a headache, sore boobs, a severe cramp, bleeding, bloody bloating, constipation or diarrhea. You sat there with all them things thinking, just get on with me maths exam or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
like
100%.
nothing changes, nothing. You cannot get time off. You cannot.
And then some bloke goes, what's the matter with your face?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'll give you what's the matter with my face. But what blows my mind is that the area of your body that all this is taking place in is about the size of your fist. Yet it just causes this mass havoc
Yeah.
on a monthly basis, like you say, but it's a tiny little part of your body.
Someone said to me once, and it makes me a bit sad, but it's like, wow, this is a bit deep, but it's like true, but I just never thought of it like this before. Every time you have a period, obviously you're losing an egg. And that egg, it sounds really random, but if that egg was fertilized or what have you, like that egg would become a child, obviously. Nina's like, Kim, do you not know how this works? But
No, you have a child, surely you know.
yeah, I know, but my point is that egg is unique. Because it's a unique, so every single egg is unique. So that egg, how do I explain this? Like that egg is, you're never gonna
Have the chance to make that a baby again.
yeah.
Yeah, every period.
But
is unique.
So that child, potentially what could have been a child, you can never have that ever again because that specific egg. I told you that.
Dear. Somebody's trying to tip you over the edge. But conversely, when you think about it,
That's mental.
that
blew my mind.
if I ever have kids, they're already in there.
Yeah, your kids are already in there.
Mind blown.
Is that right? We're born in our ovaries are all the eggs we ever have in our life.
So yes,
We don't make eggs, do we?
no. So when we're born, we have all of our eggs. So what's mad for me is that when I was pregnant with Addie, I potentially grew and developed my grandkids if she has kids.
Oh, what?
So
I know.
No,
how
that's
mad is
weird.
that? Because when I was pregnant with Addie, she's then born with her eggs. So at one point, I had Addie inside of me, and she had her eggs inside of her. So I was basically carrying. It's mad, that isn't it? Weird.
It's bloody awful.
It's bizarre.
I think we're thinking weird.
Yeah, so do
I know. When I was like the whole, I'm never gonna have. Sometimes I have a period, and I'm like, oh, bye.
Oh, good God.
I actually don't.
Bye.
I actually don't. I just thought it was funny.
I've just got this vision of you like looking down the toilet like,
No, I don't. I actually don't do
If
that.
there's any men that's listening, that's not what we do.
we don't. We really don't say goodbye to the eggs every month. Can you tell
Maybe
which
we
side?
should though. We should have some ritual, and then we'll get some time off.
Why are you saying this? You would have to give us the
That's
time off.
very true. Actually, we should do that.
Well,
Period days.
Places are now, aren't they? They're starting to be more open to like.
Oh, I'd be
Because
well up for that.
It's
yeah.
a weird one with like a male boss or being like a young woman, like say early 20s or something, starting your first job and you work in like a male environment. I can't imagine that must be so difficult to be surrounded by men and not, like those 3 days or how many days it takes you feeling like the worst.
Have you ever worked anywhere where they're not equipped? And when I say that, I mean like they don't have the facilities to deal with female reproductions. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or
So the
menstrual cycle.
The last place I worked, there was like a main building and then we were in another building and they had one toilet. No, they had two toilets. And I fought to get a man and one be men and one be women.
You had a fight for that?
Yeah, because I was like, I'm just not. Like, no. One to be man, one to be woman. And they didn't have any like sanitary bins. Just didn't cross his mind at all. Cross his mind at all that I would need one of those every month. What am I going to do? Like, and it was like
crazy.
One of the. I didn't want to have that conversation with the man that owned the business. So my like boss did it, who was a woman, who was and isn't that weird that I didn't want to, but I just did. She was like, I'll do it, don't worry.
I find it strange that if we're in a restaurant, if we're out on a meal, we will take our bag with us, our entire full bag with us.
I was just thinking that.
And we'll be like, I just need my bag. And everyone's like, oh, she's on a period.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's like, I'm just going to take my bag to the bathroom. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. I need my bag. Instead of just getting out the thing that's very small that you're going to change.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, just carry it with you.
The only
but we're
place
like,
I
oh,
do
we must
that-
hide the fact that we are on a period.
The only place
and
I
take
don't
my
do
entire
that
handbag
is
with
here.
me. Yeah.
I'll just walk
yeah.
through the office.
Yeah.
Like I'm not bothered at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, everywhere else I've been, I know what you mean. You're like, I'm just going to the toilet. Like, is
Get
it
your
some
bag.
covert mission?
Yeah.
So bizarre.
Did you know that friends can sing?
Yeah.
Yes, because I lived in a house full of girls at uni.
And did they all sing?
Yeah, it was a crazy time month for us. Those like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
We were all
so
mashed
that
to
just
bits.
if any guys are listening and like, what do you mean? Basically, your cycle syncs so that you're all on your period at the same time.
How crazy is that?
Mental.
Yeah. Well, we are.
A lot of us are synced now in here. I've got some facts for you, and then I've got we'll see what you think about these. So your periods get worse when it's cold in the winter months.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Apparently, if you live in colder climates,
Like the northeast of
well.
England.
it can be worse. You can still get pregnant while you're on your period.
Oh yeah, I knew
Everybody
that.
knew that. Some guys might not. Some people might not.
True.
Do you know why though?
Why?
Because sperm can survive.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
for
it
5 or
does.
6 days.
The resilient
So if
little
you have a
fuckers.
short cycle, it's just still in there, ready to impregnate you.
Imagine it's just
5 or
sitting
6
there,
days later.
waiting for it to come down the fallopian tube and be like, pounce on it. And the little egg's just thinking, oh, I'm going to mooch about in this womb for a month. It's just going to be me. I'm just going to chill out. And then all of a sudden it just comes through the little door. And then there's this sperm just like, goo, got ya.
That's exactly how it works.
If I was that egg, I'd be fuming. Like, fuck off, man, will you? I just want a bit of me time. And then I'm going to get flushed down the toilet. My mum's going to say bye. Bye.
I think you should teach this in school.
Yeah. This is how it works.
Imagine me doing sex ed in schools. That would be
That'd be messed up.
horrific.
So, more facts. You'll spend nearly 10 years of your life on your period.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god,
That's so depressing.
that kills us.
It is depressing.
3,500 days is the average woman's life spent on menstruating.
Did you say 10 years?
10 years, Nina. 10 years in your lifetime.
Having one
That's
of your organs
11,000 tampons, apparently.
shedding its inside.
Shall we work out the price of 11,000 tampons, please?
I know.
Shall we do that right now? Let's do it.
Okay. So what,
How much?
£3?
How much are tampons?
£3 a box, are there? I don't know.
Yeah, about £3.
How many did you
in
get?
a box?
16-ish.
18 normally. So
Odd number.
£3 for 18. So we'll work out
How much they are each?
18 divided by 3.
No, 3 divided by
3 divided by 18, hang on. 17 pence. 0.17 pence times by 11,000. That's £1,870 we will spend.
I need a pay rise. I simply can't afford to ovulate.
That's ridiculous.
We laugh, but it's true though. Some people who actually are struggling.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. It's really, really, it's heart-wrenching that you think people can't afford bloody sanitary.
There's a couple of the supermarkets that you can go to the pharmacy and there's a special, it's on social media.
Oh,
you
yes,
can
there is.
ask for say, you know how you do it in bars if you feel like you're being pestered by a bloke, you can go and ask for Angela, I think it is. You can do the same in supermarkets, and if you ask the pharmacist if a certain person's working that day, they'll give you free.
No way.
Yeah.
That's good. We should find out which supermarkets and tell people.
Mm-hmm. There will be, I'm sure.
Yeah,
there's
it's got on my
organisations.
nerves for ages that you can get free condoms,
Yeah.
but you can't get free sanitary towels. You don't have to have sex, you have to have a period.
Yeah.
This fact I don't believe, but apparently, on average, you lose 3 tablespoons of blood during
Piss
your period.
off.
From 1 tablespoon to a small cup during a normal period.
1 tablespoon. Well, it's more than 1 tablespoon.
100%. That is
Way
not true.
more.
That is not true.
Was this written by a man?
Yeah, but bear in mind, you've got some people, like my mum, when she had her periods, she was on her period overnight for one night every month. And that was it. Gone. Yeah.
Yeah, some people. Yeah, we're just judging it off our own, but some people,
Yeah.
it's.
And then different things, different factors can make it better or worse. So like I've got the copper coil, so mine is like a deluge. But if you have the hormonal coil, they go to virtually nothing.
This one's another annoying one. I think this probably was written by a man, but your period can affect how you sound and smell. Right? So according to some researchers, women's voice can change slightly during their menstrual cycle.
Because we're more stressed, so we're more high-pitched.
Now, see, I think I start growling.
It's to do with your reproductive hormones affecting your vocal cords, apparently. They can sound different. And even the researchers said less attractive, according to participants.
Oh, boo-hoo.
What the fuck?
That's my least of my worries.
I know. Oh, no.
Apparently it can also affect your natural scent.
I get that because it's hormonal and stuff.
Yeah,
isn't
it is hormonal. Mad that, isn't
I mean,
it?
there's a lot going on.
So let's go back to cramps. What do? Do you have cramps?
Just take all the good drugs and hope for the best.
Suffer. Do you get cramps?
Yeah, really bad.
Do you get cramps,
Yeah.
Laura?
Really bad.
I didn't
really,
before
really
I had
bad.
the coil.
So when I was younger, my periods were horrendous. Like I would faint.
Yeah, me too.
I faint a lot of the time. Like I've got lots of memories of like sliding down a wall and being like, oh, where am I? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then it eased off as I got older. But the same thing happened to my mum. It was very bad when she was younger, and then sort of like eased off as you like mature. I don't know why that happens.
Yeah, I had a bit of a strange thing because I went on the implant when very young. I was on the implant when I was about 15. And one of the reasons was because I used to get really bad periods when I first started. I was like, I'm not dealing with this shit. So I tried the pill, I tried all sorts of other things, and that just none of them coped well. So then I got the implant and I was fine. And I was on the implant for about 9 years or something.
Wow.
And then when I came off the implant, my menstrual cycle just stopped completely. So I didn't ovulate at all. I was having no periods. Obviously, had like 8 years of trying to have Addy. So it was like a long process.
Yeah.
I just didn't ovulate anymore. So
That's
I
mad.
had no periods. So I know we're complaining about them and stuff, but actually there's a lot of people out there who just really want a normal cycle.
Yeah.
I was one of those people for quite a long time. And I was just like, oh, I don't get periods. I mean, I remember being a kid and being like, yeah, I don't get periods. Buzzing.
Yeah.
And then I remember in my late 20s thinking, I don't get periods, and it was a sad thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I just want a cycle. And I didn't know that. I mean, I went to fertility clinic and stuff, and we had quite a few different options to go through. And there was a drug. I had two fertility appointments that I attended because I didn't want to go because Kirsty had a similar thing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go through all of the stuff that she went through. I watched her go through it and it was hell for her. So when I went to the fertility clinic, both times I was pregnant. So both times, how mad is that? I've only ever had 2 appointments that I actually ever went to because I was too scared or too, to go. And I went, the 2 times I went, they gave me drugs and said, take these. And both times I didn't take them because I thought, what if I think I might be pregnant. I had no ovulation, I had no cycle, I had nothing, and both times I was pregnant. So mad, isn't it?
mad.
But obviously,
Like intuition. That,
yeah.
isn't it?
So I didn't take them, but obviously I would have. Obviously you guys know I miscarried anyway. But for those, and then what happened is after I had a miscarriage that was quite late on. After that, the fertility appointment that I went to, they said that it probably will kickstart your cycle, and that's exactly what happened. So the miscarriage that I had like late on, that one started my cycle again, and all of a sudden I had a normal cycle.
That's crazy how your body knows to do that.
Yeah. So they'd said basically your body doesn't know that you haven't gone full time or anything like that. Your body just thinks you've had a baby and it'll start your cycle as normal.
Again.
How bizarre is that?
That is so mad.
So they'd said, oh, you might have a normal cycle after this. And I was like, and sure enough, I did. Bizarre.
That is so mad.
I know, really strange. We got quite deep, quite kicked that. But yeah, so what was my point?
We were talking about cramps. and just how do you deal with them.
How you deal with them,
So for me, like, I know loads of people use like hot water bottles. Just doesn't do anything for me.
It does for me.
I get hot anywhere.
I get sweaty. Like,
adding heat to me
clammy.
is like
Really clammy.
Yeah.
Well, this morning I was sitting I was sitting talking to you, and I was like, "Is it just me, or is it roasting in here?" So yeah, I get hot as well.
But it's like all these things. You could be in a board meeting, you could be doing the school run. Do you know what I mean?
I have been in scenarios. You were saying you fainted and things like that. So for me, I used to get. That's what I was saying. I used to get really bad when I was really, really young. Really, really bad fainty, all those kind of symptoms. And then eventually that's why I went on the implant. I was like, I can't do this, actually physically can't do it.
I can remember once being at school, I remember exactly where I was in a science lesson, and it was a male, I'm not blaming the male, but it was a male teacher who was like young. He must have been like 20s when I think about it now. And I remember saying to him, like, you had to get the toilet pass to go to the loo. And I was like, can I have the toilet pass? And because everyone used to like mess about and just use the toilet pass all the time, he said no. And I remember thinking, I need to go to the toilet. Like, I'm in, and you remember we sat on stools. Yeah. I remember thinking, like, you know, they just imagine the worst. And all the lads, and like, you know, you just like the worst case scenario. And I remember standing up, and luckily enough, I live close to my school. Like, I could walk to school. And I remember standing up, picking my bag up, and I just walked straight out the classroom and I just walked straight home.
Did you?
And I just thought, like,
what, you just ignored him.
Yeah.
You just said, "See, yeah, I'm going."
I just like, and I thought, it's ridiculous, isn't it? And I must have been like 14.
Yeah.
But can you imagine that in front of like a bunch of lads? And I kind of get it from his point of view because everyone was messing on and like, you know.
I don't get it from his point of view. He should literally understand that there's females in the class. Yeah. And need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. And like, I remember like opening the door and Mum just being like, you're all right. Yeah. And just being like white as a sheet and being like, I'm gonna, like, I could tell I was gonna go.
Yeah. You literally
you do feel like you're hemorrhaging sometimes. Like, like, so yeah, that was
I like go white as a sheet.
So that's what happened after when my cycle kick-started again. I all of a sudden got these horrific,
really bad,
horrific cycles, really bad, horrific periods, like again, fainty white. So I'd had nothing for years, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, I can't. So then I had to actually get put on medication. I was on tranexamic acid and menophomic acid for quite a while. So it literally, they couldn't. And when they'd saying 2 tablespoons, absolutely not. Like, you feel like you're actually hemorrhaging.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And do you ever get that thing where you stand up and you're like, oh
yeah.
Oh no.
Or you'll just be sitting in a meeting and you feel it and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, why?
This is what happens though. This is why we're doing this. We're talking about it, like the things that people don't talk about. Endometriosis. Has anybody had endometriosis? Anybody know what it is?
I've heard of it, but I'm not really too sure.
So I think they thought that's what I had. And that's my periods were potentially painful. Kirsty, I think, has even had surgery for it. So it's a long-term condition where the tissue, it's basically tissue similar to the lining of the womb, like, grows. And the way they it grows around the womb and the fallopian tubes and stuff, the way they described it to me was like cling film. So it like grows and it's like a lining around your womb and fallopian tubes.
On the outside?
And it can basically just like crush and like misshape. And
see, I wonder if that's what... Can it come and go? Can you?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if that's what I had when I was like a teen.
So it's very undiagnosed.
Yeah.
And there's
everything you're saying makes me think that's what it was.
You should look at the symptoms of it, because honestly, when it's one of those things that is majorly severe, people get surgery for it, and people don't even know it exists, or they don't even know it's really a thing. And some of the symptoms can really explain why people struggled when they were younger. But yeah. Do you track your periods?
I don't. I'm really bad.
You don't?
No, I know.
Neither of you?
No.
I mean, I obviously had to over the years. So when I didn't ovulate, I still had to track everything. So even though I wasn't ovulating, I wasn't having a cycle, I still had to track like cramps or like any changes in like mood. So they had me tracking everything from that. So I think that's probably why I started.
What do you mean track though? Because I do like, so say when my period starts, I'll count. I don't even know if this is right. I'll count 4 weeks and I'll put it in my calendar.
Do you not use an app?
No.
You don't use Clue?
No, Bex and Rach made us download Clue once, and I was like, this is too much for me.
It's not too much, it's amazing.
I know.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
I've got semi-permanent contraception.
Yeah.
So I don't need to track it. as such. Like, I don't need to know when I'm ovulating. I don't need to know when I'm going to be on my period as such, because as long as I'm not going to get pregnant, that's my main
but
concern.
from my point of view, I like to be prepared.
Or it helps with other things like mood
Swimming.
swings or headaches. And like where you are.
Diet for me is a big
diet.
one.
Or like you say, like you gain pounds, but it's not necessarily, it's not fat or anything. It's just your
Water
body.
retention.
Yeah, getting ready.
For me, I need to know.
Re-download Clue.
I need to know, because I know if I lose my appetite, because for me, 2 or 3 days before I come my period, I lose my appetite completely. Like completely. I could eat nothing for days, honestly. It's ridiculous. But all I need is chocolate. It's ridiculous. I could have 3 squares of chocolate and be totally satisfied and then be done. And I'm like, I don't need food. I just want chocolate. And then when I come on my period, it's like potato.
Give me the carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to eat everything in sight.
So yeah.
For like about 3 days, yeah.
I'm just the opposite. I'm like, until 2 or 3 days beforehand, I'm like, no appetite whatsoever. And then usually the first day, and I know all this because of Clue.
Yeah, I feel like I should be more in tune with my body.
And I genuinely wouldn't know these
I
things.
don't really want to be in tune with mine, I don't think.
You do, man. Anyway, Clue's an app that you can use, and you download it, and it gets smarter the more you use it. So it basically can tell you potentially might have a headache tomorrow.
Shut
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, no, it's really, really
They're
clever.
really clever.
If you track,
I don't know how I feel about this.
if you track when you get a headache, when you get cramps, what kind of symptoms you get, all these different things, it can potentially say, all right, or you look on it and it'll say like, this is your usual symptoms or your usual cycle. And it'll say you're going to come on your period on this date and it's going to last for 4 days or whatever it might be. So I know I'm going on holiday next month. I know when my period's due and how long it'll last.
Let's talk about holidays.
If you have a regular cycle.
Yeah, periods on
that's the thing
holiday.
as well.
Ugh.
Or
mine's not that regular.
Or like planning your life around your period.
Yeah.
It happens.
Have you ever gone to the doctors and gone, like, I need the pill because I'm going on holiday? And they'll just give you it.
Yeah.
So I want the pill because I don't want...
Or instead of taking the break on your pill, you run it into the next pack because you know you're going on holiday. Because it's not worse than going away for a dirty weekend.
A dirty weekend.
And unless the person who you're with is game as a badger, they'll be like, oh no.
Do you have sex on your period? Would you?
Yes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Thoroughly recommend it.
Really?
Because you're always horny when you're on your period, aren't you?
Nah. I've gained 10 pounds of water weight. That's not even horny about me.
Oh, I am. I think I'm a bit animalistic in that response. I'm just like, ugh. Yeah,
Not like the main days though. Not like the main.
I'm much worse when I ovulate. So I know when I ovulate as well. Because of Clue. So I'm much worse when I ovulate.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, yeah, terrible. When I'm ovulating, I'm like, right.
Well, that's animalistic, isn't it? Because it's evolution.
Yeah. But not usually. I'm tired when I'm on my period. And I've got a headache and cramp. But apparently sex does help with the cramps.
It does.
So there you go. Track your periods, honestly, guys.
I know.
I feel like we should do this.
It's dead easy.
I know, but it's just another thing I've got to,
You only do it once a month, hon.
True.
Do you wear white on your period?
No.
Would you ever wear white on your period?
No.
It's like just not a thing, is it?
No. Which is why tampon adverts make us want to gouge my eyes out with hot melon, with melon baller. Like, why are male marketeers still in charge of tampon companies'
ridiculous.
marketing campaigns? Nobody goes to gymnastics when they're on the period. Nobody rides a horse. Very few people go swimming, and nobody wears white.
No.
Nobody wears white.
Come on,
No,
guys,
they don't.
man.
No, they don't. What do you do then to prepare? Because for me, I'll know like, oh, tomorrow I'm due my period, and I'll prepare like by wearing a pad or something.
Yeah,
Or do you not? Some people don't prepare. They're just like, oh, I've come on my period and I'm going to have to wash these pants.
No, mine's quite a slow burner, so it starts.
Oh, see, mine's just
really
like,
light.
Same, I'm same as you. Yeah. You have to prepare, otherwise it would be.
Yeah, it would be. You'd have to go.
Yeah. I'd have to walk home again.
Yeah. Mum, it's happened again.
Nina, for God's sake.
So when I was on set once, we were doing a film, this makeup artist friend of mine, Laura's called actually, and we were chatting about this, and she was like, oh, I've just come on my period and I haven't got a tampon or anything. I was like, oh, I'll have some in my car, because I keep a spare pack of tampons in my car.
Always be prepared.
Because I just keep a spare pack. It's just kept in my car. I don't use them. They're just there for emergency scenarios. I just keep them there. I've got loads of stuff in my car. I've got a blanket. I've got loads of stuff. Anyway,
Of course you have.
a blanket in case you pull over and you're freezing, or you break down. Anyway, she was talking about what she called, and we were creased laughing. She was like, "Oh, it's fine. I'll make a shape." And I was like, "What's a shape?" And she was like, "A shape." And she was cupping her hands like this. And I was like, "What the fuck's a shape, hon?" And she went, when you come on your period and there's nothing there, so you just get the tissue and you roll it up like this and you make it into a thing and then you put it in. And then later on you go back and it's shaped like your vagina.
I 1,000% know what you mean.
I've never done this, but
I was like, yes. She was like, it's a shape.
And you pull it in, it's literally like a sculpture of your vagina.
Do you put it in your vagina?
No, just...
I'm confused.
No, you just put it in your pants like you would a sanitary towel.
Yeah.
Because it's tissue. Because it's
tissue
paper.
and it's obviously full of blood. When you go to take it out, it's like a sculpture of your vagina.
So she calls it a shape.
That is hilarious.
You should market that. That's ingenious.
So I was like, and she literally did the action. She was like, when you roll the tissue up like this and you like make a bit of a thing and then you're like, right, I'll place that in my pants like this. And then she says, and it's great. And you think, right, that'll do for a few hours. And then you go back and you're like, oh, there's my vagina. Yeah, that's right. The shape.
They'll be perfect on the internet. They'll buy them,
Yeah, no, yeah. Oh God,
Laura,
man. Oh no.
Listen, we're in a recession,
Do you not carry backups then? What do you use? What sanitary products do you use?
All of them. All of them all at the same time.
Do you? What, you mean pads and tampons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I very rarely go just tampon.
I'm
too scared.
I'm too scared. I'm genuinely too scared of leaking. Now, how fucked up is this, ladies? That somebody cannot invent. Well, they have invented now. In the last 5 years, we now have menstrual cups and period pants.
I don't understand either of the above.
So the menstrual cup, I cannot remember her name, and I was going to try and remember it for this podcast. I've seen on TikTok, there's a company that do lives every so often. They do a live, and they have like a proper medical what's the word,
person,
like medical statue, I don't know, like
like dummy,
like dummy of your insides, and she shows you how to fold it up and how to like put it in on this like dummy statue thing, and it's amazing.
Have you ever tried one?
No, but
why?
I'm not against them. I'm
not against them. I just don't think I trust it. Like, what if it came down the sides? And
do you like tampons?
Well, I mean,
I wouldn't
are they comfortable?
Like. Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I hate them. I'm very genuinely uncomfortable every single time. Yeah.
Have you tried the wrong size?
Have you used
I use like the smaller size, but I have heavy periods, so I can't.
So there's no point.
It's
in
like
using the small ones.
Well, no, I have to use the small ones. Kind of get the bigger ones in.
Isn't that mental? Like,
can we just
stupid?
Comment on the fact that men think that the size of the tampon that you use is the equivalent to the size of your vagina?
Ridiculous.
Men, it is not.
No, it's not.
Just because she uses Super Plus tampons does not mean she's got a fanny like a bucket.
No, it doesn't.
What it means is she has really heavy periods.
Yeah, but I actually do they're really uncomfortable for me. And this can be to do with your cervix, and it can be to do with whether you've got a short cervix. Yeah. So it can be to do with that. And it can also be to do whether you have a tilted womb and stuff like that. There's all sorts to do with it. And they did say to me when they pulled Adeline out of my womb, "Oh, you've got a tilted womb."
Funnily enough, when I went for my first coil, the nurse said to us, imagine, mortified, as you are, in the most vulnerable position you'll ever be in your life. And she disappeared down there and then said, oh. So obviously at this point,
like, shit, what?
My heart rate was about 200. And I was like, what's the matter? She went, oh, your cervix is shy. And my only response...
They shouldn't be allowed to comment, should they?
Yeah.
My only response was to say, it's the first time I've ever been called shy.
Do you know what someone said to me once during a smear? She was literally in there and she went, you can tell you haven't had children.
I don't think they should be allowed to say.
They shouldn't be allowed to comment.
I don't think they should...
I was like, I don't know. What are you trying to?
One asked me.
I don't know. Do I?
Thank you.
Like, what is this? Feels weird.
One asked me if I was sexually active, and I said no, and she said, "Oh, you can tell. I don't need your fucking sympathy. Thanks very much."
They've seen so many cervixes that they can tell the difference between them.
That's mental. Okay. So menstrual cups, I've tried before.
Have you?
Yeah.
What did you think?
Well, I know 2 or 3 of my friends use them religiously now.
Really?
So the reason why I went back to tampons is because I thought I have to wear a pad anyway, because I was too scared of the cup
not working.
But I genuinely now, I'm like, after this period I've just had, I am absolutely never putting tampons back in ever again. I really, really struggle with them. They're really uncomfortable. And every single month I'm like, I need to do something about this. It really hurts.
Yeah.
It's really painful. I don't sleep properly. Like, it's really, really just not nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still use them. And I'm thinking, why? And it's just conditioned. I'm
Yeah.
conditioned to use tampons or pads instead of menstrual cups and period pants. So the cups, I know a few people use them and they've said they don't leak.
Yeah,
and
they're
fine
like,
and they're this and
it's
that.
like suction.
Yeah.
Like they can't, like it can't fall out. It can't, like if you think about a suction, like putting something in,
It is like a suction because I tried it and I couldn't fucking get it out.
Oh, see?
But see, that stressed me out. But then I watched the video and now it is what you have to do is like break the suction.
Oh, fuck.
I know.
It's like anything though. It's like practice, isn't
This
it?
is the thing. It's worrying because it's a foreign thing in our vagina.
And can you feel it?
But nah, once it's in, I
Like a
couldn't-
tampon?
Nah, that's the difference. I could not feel it like a tampon.
See, I can't feel a tampon.
I can.
I can't feel a tampon.
I can feel it the entire time.
Yeah,
it's in.
you're not meant to, are you? You're not meant to be able to feel it.
It's literally the entire time it's in, and I know it's there. It's really, really painful.
Well, I might try one.
Yeah, no, I'm tempted to try.
I live
one.
right next to the hospital.
I'm
so if I have to get
100%.
it removed.
I'm 100% just going to try. I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to get the menstrual cup and I'm going to get the period pants.
Doesn't Kerr use the period pants?
Kerr uses the menstrual cup.
Right.
I have period pants and I used to absolutely love them. And I used to think, right, this is it. I'm never using anything else. And then I had 2 pairs and it wasn't enough, obviously, because you have more than, that's one day and one night, essentially.
Yeah.
And so
How long can you wear them for?
like 8 hours.
Okay.
But the difference, I'm not joking, like obviously if you've got a pad, we'll get right into it. If you've got a pad, you kind of, I don't know, some of them are scented, the pads are scented and stuff like that. So they're like, but there's period there's period pants now that are odor like neutralizing.
Yeah.
So they don't smell, I'm not joking when I say it. I was a bit like, when I first tried them, I was like, oh, where's my period? Like I was
Where
like,
does it go?
I was genuinely like,
Disappears.
And then they'd said, so the ones I got were very new, very thingy. So the ones you get now, you can put in the wash just straight away by themselves, I think. I know. But the ones I had, you had to rinse out in the sink. So I was just used to rinsing out in the sink. And I would be like, oh, there it is. Like, I'm not joking.
That is
I was
nearly
like,
as bad as bye.
I was like, bye. I honestly was like, these things are incredible. Like, they're amazing.
But then I just think if you put your period pads in the wash, like with your work trousers and that, then all your periods just swishing about all over your work.
Yeah, no, you do. You put them on a separate wash. There's ways to wash them and things. There's also...
Yeah. Have you seen the price of electric? I'm not putting a separate wash on for 2 pairs of bloody period pants.
No, there's
Fuck
ways.
off.
There's ways to do it. So I think where is it here? Frequently asked
Bloody
questions. Do I wear? So I'm on. Is it Modi Body? These guys
I feel like my mind's being blown.
are like the top people now. Apparently for they've got loads of ranges. So care, wash before wear. We recommend popping them in the wash before the first wear to activate the tech. Rinse in cold water. So they say rinse in cold water after use. Do not soak. Just rinse until the water runs clear, and then cold wash in a delicate bag.
So you rinse them.
Rinse in cold water and then you put them in the washing machine on a cold wash.
Just rinse them until the water's clear. So you just rinse them out.
Okay.
I've never tried these.
I am
like-
going to try them because look, there's a hipster. How cute are these? Hipster body short.
I just feel like they won't work after no
But look.
Yeah, no, they are cute.
It's a multi-buy offer and we'll all get them.
I don't know, but I'm going to try them. I've decided. I think
Primark do them?
this podcast, thinking about this podcast made me think, why do I use tampons? Why do I use pads? I'm an eco-friendly, eco-conscious human. And I'm still using tampons and pads. Like, what the hell? Also, let's talk about toxic shock syndrome. 1 in 100,000 people actually get toxic shock syndrome.
Yeah. Can you remember when you first learned about periods being terrified of toxic shock syndrome?
Yeah, they drilled that into you, didn't they? So they're teaching you other things. They really, well, no, I suppose it's important, but they did drill that into you.
And I remember my mum saying to us, because I was like, obviously, anxiety central. And I was like, oh my God, Mum, I'm going to get TSS, blah, blah. And she went, Laura, I am X amount. She's probably my age at the time. She's like, Laura, I'm 37 years old and I've never met one single person.
So, see, I have.
Who's had TSS. So you
My
need to
auntie
calm
did.
down. Of course she did.
I know.
She's 1 in 100,000.
So, yeah, and that scared the life out of me.
It's scary, though.
But it is life-threatening at the end of the day.
yeah.
Like, so if
like
anybody doesn't know what it is, it's toxic shock syndrome is off using tampons. Your body almost goes into some kind of shock. And
Have you ever lost a tampon in your body?
Yes.
I couldn't remember if you've took it out.
Yes.
Put another one in.
I've definitely done that when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
When I'm like, shit, did I take it out? Did I not? But it's only because normally I can feel them. So the next day I always know when I'm sober. I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely can't feel it. Or I can feel it.
Ah.
I've gone
Have you
to
raked?
pull one. I've gone to pull one out and there's been 2 there.
Yeah, I know a few people that's done that. And I'm like, whoa, I just don't understand that.
It's because you can feel them, like, whereas we can't.
And if my
I
period's
must
heavy
have a
enough,
really short cervix.
I could. It's been a party.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yours is short, mine shy.
How mental is this? I looked, and The Guardian, apparently, it's obviously The Guardian, but still, said there is no research that unequivocally declares that female hygiene products are safe. And independent studies by women health organisations have found chemicals of concern,
this is
like dioxin, carcinogenics, and reproductive toxins in tampons and pads.
Peace out, guys.
I am not using them anymore. When I did this research for this podcast, I was like, I ain't doing that anymore to my
So
body.
hang the fuck on. How, knowing what we have to go through to get a cosmetic product to market,
Yep.
testing wise, that you put upon your face, how can, for over 100 years, we have been selling and buying these products that you put inside your body
That are not research. There's no research to say they're safe.
What the fuck?
There's not one bit of research. In fact, the research points to unsafe. That has been done.
Again, brilliant.
Yeah.
Happy
Mental.
2022, guys.
So I'm on the period pants and menstrual cup. I think we should do a little
Shall we do a revisit?
study or something where we all try them
Oh, we should all try.
and then come back and do
different
another
method.
podcast
Yeah,
and talk about them.
I'm game for trying all methods, to be fair, because
Same. I'm
I am
definitely
as well.
game for the cup. The period pants, I was a bit like, oh, I don't know. But when you've just shown me those ones,
Honestly,
and if you've had a go with them and
I had a go.
8 hours,
they look
they
like
were-
men's
they were
boxes.
good.
They look so comfy.
they look amazingly comfortable. Oh, hey man, there's some that are like saucy and sexy, and then just like the front bit is like the pad. It's mad. I can't explain it, but they work. So there's like patented technology. This Modi Body people have got patented technology that somehow.
see, thank God companies are doing.
Yeah.
Are doing this.
Thank God.
and
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
looking into technology and things rather than us all just going with the norm of.
Well, there's swimsuits now. You can get
Nah.
period swimsuits,
Nah.
which I don't understand how that works because obviously when you run the period pants under the cold water, that will. So I don't understand. I'm not going to bash it till I've done a bit more research on it.
Yeah.
But I wonder if this Modi Body are not sponsored by them, but we should definitely.
And there are other alternatives available.
There are, yeah. We should basically. Yeah, let's look at it.
I'm game.
I think we should do it.
we do it every month. Like
this-
what's 1 month's not going to.
Well, exactly.
It says, yes, you can swim with your period or leaky bladder in our clever leak-proof swimwear.
That escalated quickly.
Well, there's one in here. So it says, our patent pending swimwear technology seals in leaks, meaning perfect for light period days or backups.
seals in leaks, so it must be like stuck to your body
With a tampon or
like
menstrual
the water
cup.
cannot.
If your flow is right, so it says you use a menstrual cup as well if you're a heavy flow. So do I need to wear a tampon or menstrual cup? If you have a heavy flow shower, our swimwear is best suited for light to moderate period days. So basically, like day 4.
I can't remember the last time I went swimming, but never mind.
I swim a lot.
Yeah, some as well.
Yeah.
I used to swim every day.
But I like how they're just saying, yeah, no, just wear a menstrual cup instead. I wonder if they sell menstrual cups. Let's do a shop. They've got maternity stuff and everything.
Do you know what else I've just thought about then when you're saying swimming? Like athletes, female athletes.
How do female athletes
like
deal
imagine
with...
doing the bloody London Marathon.
Yeah. What do they do?
They probably
have
to like be on some kind of like pill or something. They're
Medication
going to
or
have to because
something.
I mean, they
but
might not.
They
They might
can't
not.
take painkillers or anything, can they? Because you can't take...
Maybe they don't. Maybe the women are amazing. Maybe they do it all on their period.
God damn it.
But imagine if the Olympics fell on the date of your period and you were going to be in the Olympics.
Imagine
And
you'd
you were
be
a swimmer.
devastated, wouldn't you?
And you were a swimmer.
I mean, look at the grief Paula Radcliffe got for having a crap at the side of the road in the marathon.
Did she have a wee?
No, she had an actual poo.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
Did she actually?
Yeah, but how did you not...
I
this was years ago.
I thought she had a wee.
No,
She just
she
like
was
pulled her pants to the side and pulled her
had a
pants
poo,
down
yeah.
and had a poo.
like a toddler does.
Just shat on the floor.
But then she
is
still
that not illegal?
she
But then
still
she, like,
won.
Pulled her thingies back round and off she tried.
I'm sure she had a wee. Lauren.
That is sheer dedication.
I'm
that,
sure.
like, innit?
Dean, check this before it goes out, but I'm sure she had a poo. There has been somebody running a woman running a marathon who had
She
a poo.
did not have a poo
I'm
on the
telling
side
you.
of the road.
I'm telling you.
That's mental.
But you know when you're on your period though, and all of a sudden you go from 0 to I'm going to shit myself.
Yeah, sometimes
What if that happened as you were running a marathon?
Yeah, she might have been on a period.
Yeah.
Did you know that if you murder someone,
Oh, Christ.
I'm not even joking, you can use, if you were on your period and you can state that there's evidence to say that you were on your period, it can be used in your defence.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, you wouldn't get acquitted. It would just mitigate it down.
There is
Have women
lesser
done that?
sentences being given because
Yeah.
people have been on their period.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
If we can take periods into account in murder, surely men
women
can
in the
understand
workplace, yeah.
that females in the workplace who are having a tough day
Yeah.
because they're perioding everywhere and they're cramping
Perioding.
and they're
The verb to period.
give them a chance, and if you ask them for one thing and they snap at you, just leave them the fuck alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or see if they need anything. Do you need a hot drink? Do you want a hot water bottle?
They'll murder you.
Do you want
and
a
then they'll
cuddle?
get acquitted.
Do you need anything? Yeah, or you'll be murdered and they'll get away with it.
Oh, God.
Your Honour, I was on my period.
We are by no means endorsing murdering anyone while you are on your period.
I did not know that.
Jesus.
Yeah, mad.
But I did watch this again. I'm going to talk about TikTok. I learned loads on TikTok.
Yeah,
It's
you go.
educational.
I do, to be fair.
It was a lady in America who does not autopsies, but like the embalming process and
Oh,
that
right,
kind
yeah,
of thing. And like what happens when you die and you're on your period.
I don't know. I know what happens when you're on your period if you like have a heart attack or something.
Mm-hmm. And like in the hospital when you're.
I know what happens in the hospital.
What happens in the hospital?
You just wear pads. You have to take a tampon out.
So if you're like knocked out and unconscious,
We would normally ask, like, do you know if they're on the period or anything, if there's a friends and family there, and then eventually, if they're in critical care or anything like that, you have to take periods out and put pads on.
which is something
But
you
usually-
never think about that, do you? But
Usually, your period would like stop.
Imagine
It's not something that
if
would
you-
carry on if your body's starting to shut down.
yeah.
if you die when you're on your period and you're on your period for all eternity.
What do you mean?
You come back as a ghost, you
So
mean?
if your spirit or your ghost or whatever you believe in, once you die, because you have died on your period, you are perioding forever.
Is that what you believe?
Well, I don't know. I don't know, but can you imagine the fucking trauma of it all? You're 10 pounds heavier.
No, I wouldn't. No, that's not what I believe.
Well, I'm choosing to not believe because I think that would just be horrendous.
Yeah, it's mad. I don't know. I think we should give this a go. If anybody has used a menstrual cup or uses one, or if you use period pants and you've got a specific brand that you like, please let us know.
Or if anybody's an athlete or a woman in business or anything like that.
Yeah, or if you
love to
really,
know.
yeah. How do you cope? How do you deal? So the only other thing is paracetamol, brufen, hot water bottles. Has anybody got any other tips and tricks to deal with period cramp?
Gin.
Alcohol does tend to work. What about has Anybody used like a TENS machine or the ones you can now get for periods?
No.
So there's actual like products out there now we're getting. They're like electrical impulse shot, like little things that you could
Jessie's
like,
got one, hasn't she?
yeah.
Of course she has.
And you basically put it on and it helps with your cramps.
Does it?
Yeah.
I feel like I just do not. So say this happens every single month. I've never really stopped and thought about it until we've decided to do this podcast and stopped and thought about like how can I make it better for myself.
This is what I'm saying.
What can I do?
I didn't
like paracetamol doesn't touch the sides for me.
Nah.
I know a hot water bottle doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I've literally never stopped to research
Nah.
what I could actually do to make myself feel better.
I've never ever looked at it, and I have over the years, but recently I'm thinking every single month I genuinely dread my period. I dread it. And I'm thinking, why have I never actually just changed the products and changed what I'm gonna
have a go at testing different things and seeing what works for you?
It's because I think there's been a stigma around things, I think, especially with period pants and with, it's like, oh, you'll smell, or oh God, what are you gonna do with that cup? You'll get messy, or do you know what I mean? Like, how do you empty it, and what if it gets stuck up there and things like that? It's like, no, these things are tested and tried, and
unlike tampons
and sanitary towels, yeah.
And I think there's a lot more like educational content and like social media's played a big role in that, in like debunking it and like you say, watching a live demonstration on how it works for me was like, oh, it's not that scary.
So Glamour magazine did a edit on the best period pants. So if you just type in Glamour best period pants, and they've got basically, they tried and tested, the Glamour editors tried and tested 17 different pants.
That's what we need.
For sustainability or zero waste period. And then they've got a little review on every single one of them. And like, there's these ones here. There's a few different, I mean, they look nice. These ones here.
I'm all about the ones that look like boxers.
Yeah, me too. They
so
look lovely, yeah. And you'd feel comfortable and like you're not going to leak in them, wouldn't you? And they talk about like 2 to 3 tampons or 3 to 4 tampons, different sizes that they come in. So Puma do some. This WUKA, I don't know, I've never heard of them, but and then there's Muddy Body, I don't know. There's a few different ones, so they go through. If anybody's interested, have a little look at that article.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's worth a try.
And they talk about Thinks. That's the ones I used. Thinks. Yeah, have a look at it anyway, and we're going to try and test them, and then we're going to let you know what we think. We'll come back. But thanks. This has been really interesting.
It has.
Yeah, send us a message. Let us know if you've got anything to add to today's podcast. We hope it's been interesting. We hope it's been relatable. We will see you guys next week on Just Another Group Chat.